No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
You are the ex-champion, Olin.
Now this is the way, Tony and David, that you do the figure four leg lock.
We did it! Figure Four Podcast is official. I'm Drerawka, coming live from Cousin Tyrone's basement.
And I'm Will Wonder, coming from Doink the Clown's dungeon. Make sure you tap in.
That's right. We made it official. So now is your official wrestling podcast with me and my brother. We hope you enjoy this episode. We talk about Backlash. We talk about recent Smackdowns and what's going on with Cody Rhodes. Is he, are they doing Cody dirty right now? Is it lackluster for Cody?
Yeah, we're going to find out. BBL Drizzy. How does it go?
I have no idea what you just did.
BBL Drizzy?
Oh, yeah, BBL Drizzy. Yo, I've been hearing some verses that aren't too bad. I'm like, hey, yeah. Okay.
Good for people actually taking the initiative to be like, hell yeah, I'm going to diss Drake.
You know what's the funny thing is that there's a big dog pile thing going on right now. And for those of you that are like, why are you guys talking about this thing so late? Well, we heard what was going on with these guys before we recorded the first episode, and we just didn't talk about it.
Well, but it was just Euphoria was all it was.
Yeah.
And what a weekend we had in rap. What a weekend we had in wrestling. What a weekend we had in trash weather in Salt Lake City. What a weekend we had at the basketball courts, seeing what it looks like when someone has a figure four put on them a little too hard, even though that's not what happened.
Yeah, man, it was pretty awful, man. Our boy Francisco. So to set the tone, Wonder has been working out on Sundays for 10, 15 years now. And
yeah.
And he a few years ago, he was like, Dre, come on out. And so I show up on Sunday, and that's our thing now. Our ritual is to go do a workout. Basketball, we'll be at the track. You put us through workouts. And we invite people. Like, if people want to come, they can come. Everybody's welcome. And a young man by the name of Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know Francisco too well. This is the third time I met Francisco. But Francisco,
cool dude. Cool.
Great guy. Awesome guy. He's a father. Great dude. We play basketball on Sunday, and I was cooking these guys. Oh, man, was it bad. I was going behind the back. I was faking out people. Wonder tried to defend me. He couldn't. Nah, man, I was backing him in. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. 16 points.
It's okay.
And then Wonder, he kind of worked his way up. I think he had like 8. He worked his way back up. Now, I'll give you what you had, 16. We tied up. Yeah. We were tied up. And Francisco decided he wanted to do a left and his knee do it a right.
Yeah. Or he was doing a right and his knee was doing a left. I think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. It was awful. So he's screaming on the ground, oh, my knee. And I'm thinking, yo, it's just an old man, just, hey, bruised knee, whatever. They touch knees, him and Beefy, until he rolled up that pants leg.
Well, even when he just showed, because he was holding it and he moved his hand and it was, he had sweats on, and I just saw a kneecap all the way to the left when it should be somewhat centered. And I was like, number one, I almost threw up. And then number two, I was like, does it always look like that? Because maybe, so you never know with some people. Maybe they got some. He's like, and I was like, and he said, pop it back in. I said, nope, absolutely not, my friend. We are calling somebody to come do this.
Tavian ran. He ran.
Yeah. Your son. I loved it. He came back. Just breathe. Just like Tavian's, like your son's been through this before. You know what I'm saying? Like
the kids on the basketball court at school all the time. Dislocated joints. Yeah. Ended up having to call the ambulance for him. Call the ambulance. Ambulance. Somebody call the ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
Called the ambulance. And the dispatcher, man, I didn't realize how many stupid questions they ask. Is he eating? When's the last time he took a drink of water?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? I don't know.
His knees left.
Exactly.
It's on the side of his leg.
Get the guys here now. Get them here now. And they were so nonchalant. They didn't have none of the sirens on. No lights.
They just pulled up like this old ass trying to play basketball. They said it was the fourth one they've had that week.
Yeah, yeah, man. So old people out here dislocating knees, dislocating the joints.
Tough. And then you were nice enough to take him to the hospital to avoid the ride in the ambulance. And I need to reach out to him today. I talked to him later that day, and he's doing okay. He was doing okay. Obviously sore. And then when you left, I beat. Wow, this was about to sound really wild. I'm just gonna say his real name. I beat Jose in one-on-one. Almost called him by his nickname, what we call him, Beefy. That would have sounded wild. But yeah, beat him, and then it got really cold, started snowing. Trash.
Yeah, out of nowhere, man.
Yeah.
Utah, man, we're getting all the seasons in one day or one weekend.
Cinco de Mayo snowstorm.
That's right. Hip hop has been fun, man. Kendrick and Drake were going back and forth. Hip hop and wrestling has had a from the day I started watching wrestling, it's always been hand in hand.
Yep.
And I don't know what the reason is, but I introduced my son over the weekend to something phenomenal, and he has been listening to it ever since on YouTube. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this down. For some reason, they hate when we play videos or anything on here. So before we jump into some more, wrestling talk, this was what I introduced my son to.
Oh, let's see it.
Where the mic at? Fake a lot.
2000.
Smino.
If you remember this album,
Be untouchable.
the Aggression album,
Never gonna stop.
2000,
We ain't gonna
2000.
never stop.
one of my favorite songs on the album.
I got miraculous flows, attacking my foes. I'm an inch away from the crown and my faculty knows. I'm the middle of the pound.
The bottom of the brick.
The cross of the road. Get the teeth, trick.
Wonder, can you name the artist?
I don't know who the hell that is. I'm trying to even get that song. I'm like, what is he playing right now?
Dame Grease and Mino. The Ministry, the Undertaker theme song. So
Okay.
the
I have
Aggression
something
album,
to touch on with that later, but go ahead. Yeah.
the Aggression album was obviously released in the year 2000,
Yeah.
and it was featuring some of the hottest artists at the time and some of the throwback artists as well. I mean, you had Run DMC, Kool Keith was on there, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Snoop Dogg, Dub C, with the Snoop Dogg Dub C record, the Hell Yeah record. They redid Stone Cold's song. That was fire. Redman, C Murder, the East Siders, Rugged Man, Badass, Ice-T, Mystical, Razcast, Mac 10, MC8. You put all those names on one album, you just think,
Tough.
holy shit.
Yeah. Man, and you picked the Dame Grease. Like I'm supposed to remember Dame Grease. I mean, I remember the name. When you played it, I was like, what the hell is this?
That was my favorite song on the album. It's just really gritty. And that's the mood I've been in all weekend because of the Drake Kendrick beat.
Kendrick being the boogeyman, the Undertaker of rap.
Exactly.
Streak is alive. Speaking of rap and hip hop, did you see HBK's tweet to Kendrick? And so Kendrick Lamar in what song was it where he says the sweet chin? This is the thing. There's been 4 Kendrick Lamar songs released. But anyways, he says sweet chin music to Drake. He says deliver sweet chin music to him. And HBK, Shawn Michaels says a little sweet chin music goes a long way. Kendrick Lamar, you and Drake are formally invited to WWE NXT to settle this thing. I'm even offering my services to mediate. And it was on Not Like Us.
You know, West Side Gun was like, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
How would that be, man, to have those two? Obviously, they can't knuckle up, right? They can't.
And they would if they wouldn't go to NXT. Sorry, HBK.
No, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I just lost half my roster.
Yeah. People getting drafted, people getting let go. I need help.
Yeah, help. But Taker, I heard Taker just signed a veteran Legends deal. So we might see him helping Shawn Michaels with some story stuff over there.
Yeah, maybe possibly. I loved obviously having Taker at Mania, which he was a fill-in for Stone Cold. We later found, but yeah, I'm always down for more Taker helping out.
Great weekend for wrestling. You know, last time we spoke, we were going into Smackdown, which was in France, leading into Backlash. So, what was your thoughts on the weekend? This whole weekend.
That the French audience is, you could have had like Doink and Wee Man out there wrestling, and it would have felt like a 5-star match with that French audience. They were
He
in
is
it.
really phenomenal.
Everything, the Bailey stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, won't you
Oh,
be my girl?
Bailey.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
these people? They just have a huge meeting. What is going on? But
Oh,
man, they were incredible. They made a pay-per-view that, I was excited for the Bloodline Randy KO match, but everything else I was just kind of like, meh, they made everything feel big, like huge. So that was my one main takeaway from the weekend. Also, the fact that I didn't know last week that the women's tag teams can go to either show, because if I would have realized that, I would have 100% picked Storm and the EST. So yeah, I failed on that one last week.
I was I thought for sure they would. I thought they would win. The Kambuki Warriors, the Kombucha Warriors. I thought they would win, but at the same time, the reason why I thought that, because we're seeing this tension. We see it on Friday Night Smackdown when they actually had to tag with Bailey, right?
Yeah.
Jade and Bianca had to tag with Bailey, and you could tell Bianca has history with Bailey, and she's like, I don't like this chick. This chick is a slime ball. We don't like, she is greasy. She's gonna slip her way back into damage control. She's gonna ruin our lives. And Jade, you're a newcomer. What are you doing? You need to have my back, my sister. You need to have my back.
Yeah.
And Jade, you could tell Jade's like, all right, I'm tired of hearing you. I don't want to hear the little banter. I don't want to hear the little bickering. Let's go do this job. Right. So you kind of already see this tension coming in between these two. And I don't know how long they hold these titles. The feud is coming. The storm is about to get damped.
I think it happens, but I feel like you try to drag this out for a while. Like that, it has to be. I think it'd be too quick for a SummerSlam. Maybe it's a Survivor Series, something there. I don't know, but I feel like they need to be a team for a little while.
Do you feel that Jade, as much anticipation as Jade had coming in, do you think that she's living up to that anticipation? Do you feel like she's accepted as much, or the hype is truly what it should have been?
Not yet. She doesn't get a lot of work on the mic, and I think being with Bianca, obviously, that's a hard thing to say, but I don't think she has yet. I think she needs a solid solo run for that hype to live up to what we all wanted.
Yeah.
And she's coming from AEW, to where she was great at AEW, but it's like a whole different ball game here. So
speaking about,
as I'm here in WWE, I'm in Stamford, Connecticut right now in my office in WWE. Yeah, you know what I mean, though.
I see. So with the tag, right? What was a 4-way tag team or 4-way match? It was Bianca on SmackDown on Friday. It was Bianca, Naomi, Jade, and Bailey. And they're in France. And out of everybody that got the biggest pop, I felt Naomi. Yeah, France love Naomi. Could it be because she wore the red, white, and blue? Or what's the France? Is that blue, white, and red? The order?
I missed that day of class in high school. Geography.
That was fun, man. That was fun. New Catch Republic is my new favorite tag team.
Wow.
Yeah, my new favorite tag team. I think that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, or Butch, if you want to do the throwback, I think that they flow really good together. I think that Tyler Bate is one of the most slept on athletes in the organization right now.
He's really good. Yeah.
So good. And I think it was a perfect match with them and AOP going at it. I think they're at the wrong time right now, though. I think I don't think you get past Street Profits.
Well, here's the thing with
especially with Carmelo Hayes coming in. You see what
Yeah, Street Profits. I've been wanting them to be pushed hard for years, and it just seems like they're just kind of there. Like they're always involved in stories, but like a real like title run, they don't do it. I don't know why.
Because they have Bobby Lashley right there. They need to get rid of him.
You hate Bobby Lashley. Why?
I can't stand Bobby.
Why?
Because he has alopecia. I don't know. No, I don't know, man. I think that he's just. Damn, this is gonna sound really bad, and I know wrestling people are gonna be like, well, "You're just talking to a camera." I feel like Bobby Lashley's a big for nothing.
Wow. Okay. All right. I like Lashley. I don't know. I feel like you're wrong.
Well, fight me then, fool.
Yeah. You're not like us. It is a weird. I mean, what do they do with him though? Like, what's the next step with Lashley? And what are they calling themselves? What the hell is their faction name?
Oh, not the Almighty. I don't know.
Yeah, see that just and they even had a big match at Mania that turned out to be really, really fun.
Because of who?
Well, the whole match was great, but yeah, Bubba made it. Yeah.
Bubba made it, but at the same time, I feel like out of the Street Profits, like I think Montez Ford is the guy. You know
well, he's always been the guy, but that's another one. There was a while where I failed to remember the year. It's recent, but when they had the Elimination Chamber and he was just incredible. And I was like, okay, now they're going to set forth, have him split up and from Angelo Dawkins, and it just didn't happen.
I think they need to. I want to see him solo.
Yeah. He's great.
I feel like he outshined.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
So
AOP was cool, man. I think they're just putting people over. Unfortunately, Karrion Kross. I don't know why they're not doing more with him, but
yeah,
I think Kross is dope. There's
only so many people that you can do stuff with, but Kross has that like weird. It's like a creepy, like is he supposed to be like a vampire? You know what I'm saying? Like you get like these vibes from him. AOP though, like bringing them back, I was so excited when they did that. But I just want them to be a dominant tag team that just, because they're huge. They're very athletic. I don't know if they can talk on the mic. I didn't watch them when they were in NXT previously, but I mean, you get them with a heater, someone who can talk for them if they can't, and I think you have something really special there. But I don't know. They just don't do it.
We did get a reveal from Paul Heyman that he hasn't talked to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That was brought out.
That was interesting. The Bloodline storyline, and I think we can, get into that match a little bit. Where what was his name? Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga's younger brother. Totally botched that ending where he's supposed to pull the ref. But with that said, it's like, we get another member of the Bloodline. They go backstage after that match, which was a very fun and entertaining match. I loved it because they said, street rules or whatever, no holds barred, no DQ. So they were all over the place. I really enjoyed the match, and the crowd was nuts. The ending was what it was. I actually didn't even notice it at first until you said something, and I went back and I was like, oh yeah, he totally screwed that up.
He botched it.
But I'm excited to see where this Bloodline storyline goes, because him not talking to Roman. Does Roman come back? Because Roman's slated to be on the SmackDown before SummerSlam. That's the first time he's billed to be on a show. So does he come back and he's just like frustrated with Paul? What? Obviously, I don't think he has that they then say, okay, well, here's the match for SummerSlam. I think it builds out to Survivor Series. But I'm just excited to see where it goes, because we also have Jacob Fatu, who's ready and is about to come join. So who does he align with? Is The Rock, is this all a War Games match later at Survivor Series with The Rock and Solo and Tama Tonga Loa? And then on the other side, you have, Roman and the Usos. And is Jacob Fatu going to be a part of that good guy side? I don't know, but I'm hyped.
That's where it's so confusing, because I think it all lies where's The Rock, where's Roman, where's the head of the table, where's the final boss, like where do they lie? Because once we find out where the two kings are, then we know, okay, this is where so and so is going to be at.
Does that, in your opinion, does that overshadow Cody? Like,
yeah, because I mean, what's Cody even doing right now? Right?
Yeah, and what is the plan for him? Like AJ, that was a good match. It was a good match, and again, that crowd made every match even better. But I think that was a solid match with him and AJ. But like, what's their plan for him going forward? Who's his next, foil, or who's coming after him? Or is he just like going to take on different people at each pay-per-view, which I'm a big storyline guy, as you know, Dre, right? That's why I think AEW, like, we can have the best matches and do all the flips you want, but their storytelling is the shits.
Yeah.
That's why I would love WWE. So like, I need a story with Cody, and we need to see him up against adversity again, because I think that's why everyone fell in love with him. I mean, he's a great wrestler and good on the mic and all of that, and Dusty's son, but I feel like they fell in love with him because of what he was going up against with the bloodline. And I don't think there's another faction like them. I mean, you can bring in Uncle Howdy, and I hope that's not the answer for Cody, but I'm excited to see. I don't know.
Yeah, man, they're trying to figure it out right now. The pieces are being met. I think this is a big thing for the WWE right now, is that their only competition is themselves.
Mhm.
Like, those writers right now, I bet you they feel the pressure right now, because you wrote a great 2023, 2024. Can you write a great 2024, 2025?
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. And I don't think anybody expected really Tonga Loa to show up.
I don't think anybody did. Yeah.
No.
Nobody did. Can you hear me okay? Mic check. Mic check 1 2. No, go ahead.
I hear you great.
Okay.
One thing that I wanted to talk about that match was the comic relief of Randy Orton.
Oh, Randy was so
good, man.
Yeah.
You have KO, man. He's going back and forth. We seen 4 tables get smashed.
Yeah.
We seen the chair, the 4 chairs getting broken.
Whatever that was. Yeah, that move into that was very dope.
It was like a suplex, like, I don't even know what you would call it, but it looked good. We see that Tama Tonga is human, right? He's not some untouchable force. He got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Solo got his ass whooped. Randy Orton, when KO was doing the frog splash off the barricade, Francis wanted it.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I'm gonna just get down."
Let me hop off of here real quick. Yeah.
Did you notice the bring back heel doink
No
poster? You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, you gotta go back and watch.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah. it was going in the back, and then on the entrance too. It might have been KO's entrance.
Okay, I'll have to look.
They had the big poster. It was cool. France brought back, we talked about it last week, about the feeling of all the fans being into it, the posters, and France brought that. The second match of Backlash was a triple threat match with Tiffy Time. Hold on. You already know. Tiffy Time!
Ooh, you got lust in your eyes for Tiffy Time.
And Naomi. Bailey, Tiffy Time, and Naomi. This match right here, man, to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. We've seen this on SmackDown for the last 2-3 weeks, and it did not disappoint, man. I had a lot of fun watching this match. I felt like Tiff being a gymnastics. What is it? A gymnast.
It was did gymnastics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she gives us that. You can see it with her cartwheel with her and Naomi. Oh my gosh, her and Naomi, I feel like, were the stars of that match.
They were. They did a lot of work. Naomi was great. I was like, when I was watching, I'm like, are they going to find a way to like have Naomi win this and just like shock everybody? But it didn't happen, obviously. But they did really good, and I feel like, obviously I talked about last week how they just put a rocket to Tiffany Stratton's back, and I think they're going to continue to do that. She's going to be that heel that eventually, I think, takes the title away from Bailey. But I think Bailey's going to have this for a little while. It's going to be a longer run, and it's going to be Tiffany chasing.
A lot of chasing. Did you catch the 3D?
Oh yeah,
so sick.
Yeah, and then there was a moment as well where Tiffany was in the ropes, and Naomi had her between her legs and then did a little twerk, and I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed that as well.
Oh yeah, you could tell like WWE was probably like, yo, probably don't do that.
Hey, let's go to the crowd. Cut to the crowd.
The twerk was great. Something else was great is that we seen Jey Uso face to face with the Bloodline backstage.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And then this they're all staring at him, and then like you get the Paul Heyman who's just like he's like you could see it in his eyes. He's like, I don't know, and I need help. I don't know.
Help, Jay.
Yeah,
it's out of control, bro. I need
Yeah.
help. But
Mhm.
if Paul Heyman says anything, he's getting his ass whooped.
Yep, it's a wrap for him.
So how do they save Paul Heyman? How does Jey Uso have enough? Because main event Jey Uso's thriving. France
Mhm.
love Jey. If you
Oh
if
yeah,
you-
that video, the crowd, incredible.
solid.
Yep.
So how does Jey find it in his heart to be like, you know what? My brother Jimmy got jumped. My cousins are going out of control. They got Paul Heyman in a chokehold. Roman's nowhere to be found. Like, what does Jey do?
I think that comes right before SummerSlam. Maybe we get something to where at King and Queen of the Ring, Jay's in a match against, I don't know. I need to look at the bracket. I don't know how it breaks down, but maybe it's like Jay Gunther or something, right? Who, by the way, incredible match last night.
We'll get into it.
Maybe he's going up for the King of the Ring, and Bloodline, the new Bloodline comes out, ruins it for him. And then Jimmy comes out to help. They're getting beat up. That then leads to something close to SummerSlam where maybe Roman comes back to talk. He's getting beat up by the Bloodline, new Bloodline, and there's Paul trying to say, no, please, and they beat him up. And then we just get this storytelling all the way to Survivor Series where Jimmy or the Usos and Roman are teaming back up again with Paul in their corner against the new Bloodline. And then we find out The Rock just, was the mastermind behind it all.
He was the orchestrator.
Yeah.
And it's all going to tie back to whatever he gave Cody.
Yeah, that's something that's sticking out to me too. And again, it overshadows, like we're talking about this, and maybe it's just us. I don't know. I haven't listened to any wrestling podcasts this week, but maybe it's just us that are me. That's like Cody's storyline is right now kind of boring, and they need to spice it up. But yeah, what the hell did he give Cody? I don't know.
We're still waiting to find out.
Yeah.
And the Judgment Day, man. Judgment Day, Judgment Day, Judgment Day. Are we seeing the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day?
Yeah, I think so. You know how Damian was so pissed off that they helped, and then even though he retained, and then on Raw, which we'll get to, he apologized to them in front of everybody, but it felt really weird. So yeah, I don't know where they're going with that. I did, however, I thought Damian looked really good in the match, and he has
the South of Heaven off the top rope.
Yeah, he has his new entrance too. He's very heelish, but then again, like it kind of feels like they're moving him towards baby, which doesn't make sense. Because of the possible split up of him and the guys. But yeah, I thought he looked great. I don't know if they're breaking up. I mean, maybe this is another one like a slow tearaway. When Rhea comes back, that's what I'm most interested to see what happens and how she fits into it all.
I'm waiting for that. Mommy, we want you back.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd wants mommy back. You heard chants of we want mommy. You've heard chants of we want Roman. The guys we've always wanted mommy, but the guy that you hated and you wanted to go away, now you're crying for him back. I get it.
I know, it's crazy. He's going to be a baby face when he comes back too, and he was like, such a heel.
We already talked about the Kambuchi Warriors and Kambuki, all right.
Kabuki. Just
Kambuki. There's an M there.
There's no M. You wrote that's incorrect.
We talked about them and Jade and Bianca. Did it feel like halfway through the match it seemed like the timing was off?
Oh,
they
absolutely.
were like, somebody got tagged. Somebody did tag. Like,
what
it was
the hell
weird.
was that? That was the weirdest moment in a long time that I've seen in a match that just didn't make any sense. Where you're like, wait, what? She wasn't tagged, and then no, what? And then there were some botches later on too, where the match itself wasn't great by any means.
And I wonder if it. I mean, as much as Bianca, she's been around, and Jade has done her thing in AEW, and Asuka. I mean, Asuka's been around too, but
Oh yeah,
it didn't feel like there was a veteran in the ring. It
yeah.
didn't feel like there was somebody that took control over the ring.
I wonder if Asuka injured herself in that match because, as you know, she was supposed to be on Raw in the Queen of the Ring qualifiers or whatever they're calling it, and she was replaced. So maybe she got hurt and couldn't do things she was supposed to do. Poor is what's the other one's name? Why did I just forget her name?
Oh yeah,
Asuka. Io?
no.
No, Io's the champion.
Oh my, not Dakota, not EO. Oh my gosh.
Run your Googles. Hold on.
Yeah, not.
The other Kabuki warrior. That
Yeah,
poor that
you know
that
who
poor
it is.
woman was just thrown and just got the break speed off of her.
As she
Wow.
did when Jade first debuted too. That's the funny part.
Right.
Like her and Dakota get beat up every week.
Man.
Tyra? No, not Tyra.
Kairi Sane. Jeez Louise. We do a wrestling podcast now.
Yeah.
But she got it was a tough day at the office for her. She was a great worker and it looked great, but it was just like, man, she's doing some extra work in this for sure. And I think that's when Asuka must have got hurt in that match.
Yeah. The final match of Backlash, we kind of already hit on it with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship. Nothing less than a good match. You know, they brought it all home. And to be honest with you, I was telling the family, we were watching it Saturday morning, and I was like, how do they finish this out and not like lose the crowd? They started off with the street fight was so good, and now you have a one-on-one match. Nothing special about it.
Yeah.
How do you do it? You do it by just having good wrestling.
Yeah.
Timing was on. The guys did everything the right way. The Cody Cutter from the top rope was nuts. Good match.
Great match. And it's what what you would expect from AJ. And even though people make fun of Cody online, his matches, like it was just a solid match. They're both really good wrestlers. AJ, like I had said last week, easily one of, if not the best in-ring guys right now. You know, I don't know. You could throw him up against a couple other folks, I guess, but he's great. And but my biggest question, like I said earlier, is like, all right, where do they go from here with Cody? And I obviously will figure that out Friday. But yeah, I don't know. And you look at the poster for King and Queen of the Ring, and obviously we'll get to that on future weeks. But it's just all the champions. And I think, where is that, in Jeddah again? Yeah, Jeddah. So they all have to be there. So who are they going up against? You know, we figured out some of the matches, IC and the women's title, but Logan Paul's going up against somebody, Cody's going up against somebody. What does that look like?
Exactly. Have you tuned into any of the speed matches on X?
No, but I was here in Salt Lake to see them before the show. They recorded 2 of them, but I haven't watched any of the actual matches outside of those 2 that I was there for.
My dog lost, man. I'm heartbroken, man.
Yeah. He's heartbroken too. Have you seen what they're doing on Instagram with like these backstage, not even really interviews, they're just talking. And
he's like, I've always got this, man. It always happens.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because I'm like, what are they really trying to get out of this? Like just more backstage stuff, like post game. You know, that's what it feels like. It feels more like a sporting event, which is cool, but also it's like some of them. It's like the Natty one. I was like,
yeah.
Do we need any of this? I don't.
I
mean, any content is good content. I get, right. Just keep putting it out.
To get the people to tune in, right? How do we find out like what's going on with Ricochet? Why is he so mad? Do we see the transformation to him being a heel? You know,
heel Ricochet would be cool. I think he needs to be with somebody though. I love Ricochet, but I feel like he's better suited for like a tag scenario.
Who would that be though?
I mean, when him and Braun were that tag, that was tough.
That was fun. They did a lot of cool moves together.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was announced WrestleMania 41 will be in Vegas, April 19th and 20th, right down the street. What's up, man? You getting tickets or what?
I don't know. My boy, my boy, Jazz Nation has already got his hotel booked.
Damn.
And I'm like, it's just very expensive. And I obviously want to be there, but at the same time, it feels really good sitting at home watching it.
It does.
I'm going to go get a beer out of my fridge and not go pay $28 to $30 for a beer. So I don't know. We'll see what the finances look like as we get closer. Also, what the matches look like. I mean, obviously, it's going to WrestleMania. It's going to be great. But right now, I'd say no.
Are they
You
doing
going?
it? Hell no. Man, you got one kid. I got 3 kids. Man, the only way that happens is if wifey does what your wife did and surprise me.
You better graduate from college then, mother.
Oh shoot. It would be great. Maybe even just do like get a hotel and just do like some street interviews would be cool. But at the same time, it's Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's expensive as shit.
Mania I feel is a family thing, right? You're gonna see a lot of kids go. The mixture between crowds. I don't know what other events are there that weekend.
Well, it's all. I don't know if you saw this. It's 420, and it's also Easter weekend.
So. See. Oh man, that just sounds like a mixture of a lot of different people doing a lot of different things on the wrong times, you know. So I don't. Yeah, I'm probably not. I'm gonna sit this one out and be at the comfort of my home, eat some chicken wings, and call it good.
Yeah,
night 1 and night 2.
Yeah.
I hope they do something at the Spear. I hope they at least record some type of match there. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be able to test it for
NXT at the Sphere.
Yeah, we can have that. They're gonna be testing it with the UFC. The UFC will be there for Mexican Independence Day, so they'll be there. They're gonna have a UFC event there, so we'll see how this whole thing works out. I just think aesthetically it would look cool to have something from the WWE there.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. They always do.
All right, man. Well, Raw did happen last night. Did you catch any of it?
I watched a little bit of it. I went back and watched the matches that I wanted to. Caught Gunther and Sheamus. What a
match!
Tough match. And those dudes, man, they always deliver, right? Because they're just both like just beat the shit out of each other. I love that he tapped out. I thought that was a cool way to do that. When's the last time we saw somebody really like in a somewhat high profile match submit? I feel like it just never ever happens. So that was cool. I'm trying to think, what other matches did I watch? I saw the setup for the the Dragunov match. Holy smokes, with your boy.
Yeah, man.
Ilya Dragunov is
he's the real deal.
He's tough, man. Yeah.
Are they putting a rocket on his back? He doesn't get past Jay. We know that.
No, he won't, unless that's the story where is that supposed to be the next match?
Yeah, I think round 2 is because Jay beat Finn Balor.
Yeah,
which it was supposed to be McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, I think it's round 2 is going to be Jay and Dragunov. I think that's how the bracket works out.
Well, maybe that's when the other bloodline steps in if Dragunov is winning, but I don't see. The weird thing about Jay is they're calling him main event Jey Uso, but he just never wins main events. And I love Jey Uso, man. I love that dude and his in-ring ability, everything, the whole yeet thing. You know what I'm saying? The crowd loves him, but it's like at some point he's got to win one, right?
Yeah, man.
To keep that name.
Did you? I mean, I could do Jay. Don't take the city away. I could do without the 10-minute intro in the crowd. Get your ass in the ring. Come on, man. Yeah. Unless you're my man Sami Zayn, then hey, let it go.
Whoa! Holy shit! You spared no expense for this episode. Look at
that. Man, did you see the aftermath of the Gunther Sheamus match?
Sheamus's chest. Yes.
He makes folks bleed.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
God. And I've taken a few chest slaps in my day, when you're drunk at a party, and one hurts, and usually, and I don't take my shirt off for him. That's for damn sure. It's a over the shirt slap. And even still, those are like, I can't imagine those Gunther chops. No way.
I caught a little bit of a TNA Impact, and Shorty, I forget her name, but she was in the Royal Rumble.
I don't remember.
She's a champion over there.
Yeah,
she had a tag match with a dude over there. I don't know the roster over there.
Oh, nice.
And she was chopping the shit out of him, and then he was chopping her down. I was like, whoa.
Goodness gracious. TNA's trying to do something a little different, I see.
Your boy ain't doing nothing different. He's still running his mouth against McIntyre. CM Punk came into the
Oh,
ring.
my boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's your homie.
I love what I did love what they used him for like the HQ, the stuff they did on socials of him at Stamford, Titan Towers. That was cool. They're doing a really good job at keeping the story with him and Drew going, where like neither one are wrestling because they're both injured. I think I said that last week, but they did a really good job, or they're doing a really good job. I've made it known I'm not a huge CM Punk guy. He's can talk really well, but I just feel like he doesn't really deliver outside of that. And it seems like everywhere he goes, there's problems. Maybe that changes now in WWE, and maybe AEW that wasn't his fault. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Nor do I care, because I don't think AEW is very entertaining. And people will probably get really upset at that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with those guys and when they actually fight. Is it SummerSlam? It's got to be a big one of the big pay-per-views. So
yeah, hopefully it's soon, because they need. It seems like CM Punk is on the healthier side.
Yeah, and Drew too. Drew looks. I mean, yeah, they all have time to heal from their injuries, but he looks somewhat healthy. So
you know who is healthy? Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn. His feud with Chad Gable, and it's like I don't want to say a threesome, but it's exactly what it has been for the last 3 weeks.
In wrestling, it's a triple threat.
Yeah, the triple threat. These three can never finish a match.
Yeah. Big Bronson Reed's being pulled along. Good for him. We know he's not going to win. But it's good for him to be around these guys and bring up his credibility. He's a real good wrestler. Not like he has no credibility, but just to build him up as a star. I think it's a good look for him. I don't think Chad wins. I think Sammy's going to keep this for a while. I mean, that's King and Queen of the Ring. We don't want to get into that, but I did like what they did on Raw to further that story. Yeah,
man, you almost got to see heel Sami Zayn for a minute.
Yeah, which
is
fun.
There. Yeah, put the beats on both Bronson Reed and Chad. Dude, I would not want to get hit with that tsunami splash from Bronson Reed though.
Oh, hell no!
It's a big boy, man.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit by any of these dudes, and let alone Bronson Reed.
Yeah, man. Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
All right. Did. So before we jump into a throwback match, we often talk about the throwback match here, giving you some homework of your own to check out matches that we thought were cool, or maybe thought, matches that we just want you to check out here on Figure 4. But before we do that, the MVW, the most valuable wrestler of the week, who you got?
I'm going with a guy that we already mentioned. It was a close race for me. It almost was a co-MVP, but this week I'm giving it to Ilya Dragunov for his performance against your boy Ricochet, and just a monster. And who did we talk about last week? Carmelo Hayes. He's a smaller wrestler. Something about Dragunov, he's smaller as well, but he gives you that feeling like he's crazy, you know what I'm saying, and could really hurt some folks. And that match, I mean, he showed it. He looked great moving along in the King of the Ring tournament. So I'm going to give it to Ilya Dragunov. And then for his just great, backstage on the WWE Instagram of, if you see the dragon's wings, run.
Yeah, man. He's there, and I did have his name down as well. I also had Damian Priest for being a bigger man and owning up to his mistakes.
Wow, morals, yeah.
In life, you got to do this sometimes. Finn Balor was a little, he hey, we did what you said. We apologize. He was like, no, brother, chill out.
I know.
This time it's me.
Yeah. I miss Demon Finn. I know he doesn't bring it out often, but I mean, what was it? It's been since last WrestleMania, right? Since the Demon's been around, when he lost to
Edge.
Terrible. But anyways, we won't get into that.
I
love that.
I seen a reel recently where they're like, man, what happened to Finn, man? They're doing Finn wrong.
It's weird because he really is a main event talent. and the demon side of him is so dope. But yeah, he's just kind of there. They had the tag straps to him, which was cool, but now what do they do when they break these guys up? I'd love to have the demon come back. Maybe the demon and priest feud. I'm here for that.
I'm not mad at it. All right, brother. Well, let's jump into the throwback match. Last week you had one, and this week it was my turn. And a throwback match that I recently watched on Peacock, which you can as well. It is Monday Night Raw, WWE's Monday Night Raw, Season 8, Episode number 44, October 30th, the year 2000.
How old were you at this time, Dre?
11.
Damn.
So I'm hype.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hype. I'm over neck deep into wrestling. I might even had the WWE Raw's War bed sheets.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely had the Hell in a Cell action figures. Stone Cold and Rikishi. This was a cage match. So leading up to this is where we find out who hit who hit Stone Cold with the limousine. You know what I mean? We find out who's been helping The Rock, because Stone Cold has been on Rock's ass. Pause.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was the cousin. It was Rikishi. Rikishi at the time didn't have an official title in the bloodline. We didn't even know what the bloodline was. We knew that there was a family faction, but we didn't, there's no name. There's no cool name. He wasn't the head of the table. He was the head of cool at the time. Mm-hmm. How about that?
It was a stink face.
Yeah. Which I was talking to my homeboy Lucas from Canada. Shout out to Lucas. I was watching this match and I was calling him and I was talking to him. I don't know why as a kid I just thought Rikishi was Yokozuna. Rikishi wasn't that big. He just had a big ass.
Yeah, he had a big lower half.
Yeah,
for sure. He wasn't always that way, though. If you look back when he was in the tag team in the early 90s.
With Fatu, right?
Yeah, he was not that. He was bigger, but not like that.
Yeah. Did you watch this match? Rewatch it?
I did. I have some notes. Do you want me to go through my notes?
Yeah.
Okay. First note I have is one thing that truly lacks now in WWE that I feel like they always did back then was like a whodunit, and then dragging that out to have a really good story. Because I remember the storyline where Stone Cold got hit by that car, and you're like, oh my God. And then to find out it was Rikishi and he did it for The Rock, and they just don't do that anymore. And then also like who hit? I wanted to finish watching. I wanted to go a couple episodes like who hit Stone Cold with that. Did you see the wrench?
Yeah.
They slowed it down. It was a fucking massive, like, what are you fixing? What kind of pipe you fixing with that?
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's my first note. One thing that lacks now. Also, another thing that is missing is fucking steel cage matches on Raw or SmackDown. Like that felt like a big thing. The Rock Rikishi backstage segment was awful. It felt like those guys had zero chemistry. It was really weird, especially because all I remember is Rock ethering people, right? Like killing them and being really entertaining, but that wasn't great. And another note I have before actually even getting into the match is I do not remember that Stone Cold theme. With the guy with the people singing. I was like, I had to stop and like rewind and be like, am I hearing this correctly? I don't remember that. I was watching it this time. Do not remember that at all.
Mm.
The match itself, some really awkward botches. Like the match wasn't good by any means. It was kind of a shitty match, but the cage being there was dope. Stone Cold, like there was nobody like him before. There's probably never, ever going to be anyone like him again. The way he walks, the demands the crowd, just beats the shit out of people. Takes a beating too. Rikishi with the blood everywhere, which, you don't see a lot anymore either, which I understand, but it looked like top ramen with just sriracha spread all over it. He was all bloodied up.
Yeah.
Stunner, some Steve Weisers at the end, match ends. Again, the match wasn't good, but the presentation was amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, man. As soon as Stone Cold comes out, he gets right to business, takes off the vest, and he's right to business. Rikishi meets him on the ramp, and let's go.
When he smashes Rikishi's head with the I think that's what cut him open, and if not,
cage.
It looked like it really looked like it hit him that first time, like hard. I mean, the second one he had his hands up. That first one, I was like, my God, Rikishi just took that to the dome, and that was bad.
Rikishi still hitting super kicks really nice
Mhm.
at almost 420, 430 pounds, just hitting super kicks.
Yeah.
I really looking at this match now, obviously it's like, all right, yeah, we see better talent now, we see better matches now. But at the time, bro, I was like, this is on Monday Night Raw. This ain't even like SummerSlam. This isn't a premium event. This is or pay-per-view back in the day.
Yeah.
Like this is just a regular Monday Night Raw, and we haven't seen that type of entertainment and those type of matches on a Raw in a long time.
And it wasn't even the main event. It was closing out the first hour.
You know that episode again, season 8, episode 4 of Monday Night Raw. They open up with, and I was telling you this, that China and Eddie Guerrero match.
Yeah,
them two going back at it for the Intercontinental Championship. Like that's how good these episodes were back in the day. So I highly suggest you go and check it out. Check out these matches on Peacock. Again, season 8, episode 44, Monday Night Raw, Rikishi, Stone Cold cage match. And man, I hope you leave us a comment. Let us know. Maybe we'll start, like, we need to get a home for Figure 4 now. Like, this is official, man. We started this podcast. We're gonna keep on growing it as we go, but this is one of those things where it's we didn't want to wait no more. You know, we've been talking about this for damn years now, and we pushed the trigger. We're doing it. Will Wonder, Drerawka. We're gonna get a new home. They'll be on Instagram. If you want to follow us, you can see it on the screen. You can see my app. You can see Wonder's app. What else, Wonder?
That's it, man. We just love some wrestling. Want to talk about it. If you have matches that you think would be interesting for us to watch, I don't give a shit if it's 1978. Shoot us a match. If it's 2000, I mean, we want them to be throwback, so at least like 5 years old, right? We don't want anything newer than that. But I'd love that. I would love some matches to watch, and maybe I haven't even seen them, so that would be really cool. So do that. If you want to get my takes on Drake and Kendrick, follow me on Twitter, as you see there on the screen, at DJ Will Wonder, talking a lot of hoops on there too. My podcast will be back at some point this year, like I said that before. But for now, the focus is on the Figure 4, baby.
That's right, man.
Oh, yeah, it's on the Figure 4. Don't ever play yourself. Make sure to like and subscribe. Dig it.
He is really phenomenal. Phenomenal.